Tacos are great and egg rolls are great, but when combined, make for a perfect couple. So today, in the Anabolic Laboratory, we will be making taco egg rolls that are so good, your friends will think that you got them from a restaurant. My name is Nick. I have my master's in exercise physiology and I make anabolic recipes, and I also do anything else in the fitness industry. So if you're into that kind of thing, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. If you've made my cheesy gordita crunch recently, then you can use that same meat for these egg roll wraps, and you can get right to rolling the egg rolls and frying them. However, if not, we will start this from scratch. We're gonna start with chopping half an onion. Before we start cutting our onion, we will add 5 grams of avocado oil to our pan and put that on medium heat. We're gonna cut our onion into about 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch pieces. And if you need a lesson on how to properly cut an onion, you can look at Mina or Adam's videos. I will link them in the description below. Onions chopped up, oil is nice and hot and ready for the onion. And we only need about 120 grams of this. So I put my cutting board on top of the scale, and I'm going to take out 120 grams. So until it says minus 120, I'm gonna put this off to the side. We're gonna spread our onions out evenly so they all get some nice brownness. This only takes about 2 minutes here. In the meantime, I'm gonna put just a little bit of salt on the top. Just a pinch. While we're waiting for that to brown up a little bit, I'm gonna weigh out my garlic. I need about 7 grams that I'm gonna put through a press. If you're not using a press, just use about 5 grams of garlic. Our onions are getting some good color here, so I'm gonna make a little circle in the middle here to get ready for our garlic. The only reason I use a press is because it's so easy, and you'll see in a second. But really quickly, I wanna get my seasoning weighed out because this is all gonna go extremely quickly. Now we're gonna start with 3 grams of chili powder, 3 grams of smoked paprika or regular paprika, 3 grams of cumin, and 3 grams of coriander. Oh, last but not least, 1 gram of crushed black pepper. All right, that's all ready to go. You gotta watch out because these onions will burn very quickly, so I'm giving them another stir here, and I'm gonna put this garlic right here in the middle. I'm gonna let that get nice and fragrant for about 30 seconds. All right, that's good. Now I'm gonna put these back on our cutting board just so we don't have to use another pan. If you like, you can use another pan and do both at the same time, but this is what we're gonna cook our burger meat on. So that'll hang out there. I'm gonna add about 5 grams of avocado oil again to the pan and just give it a minute to heat up. The pan's already hot, so it's not gonna take very long. The ground beef we are using today is 96.4. The reason for that is there's so much flavor in all of the seasonings, the onion, the garlic, the egg roll wrap, the oil, that we don't need added fat. So 96.4 is perfect for this recipe, and we're gonna drop this right into the pan. One thing I learned after I made the cheesy gordita crunch, when I watched Ethan's video on his crunch wrap, is to use a potato masher, and you can get this nice and diced like you would at Taco Bell. So it's very easy to add to whatever meal you're doing, whether it be the egg roll wrap, or the hard shell taco, or whatever the case may be. Oh, I almost forgot. I like to add some MSG to my beef, and I'm gonna add 6 grams here. This only takes a couple minutes to come together, and you definitely don't wanna overcook 96.4 meat or else it'll be dry. So we're gonna hang around, and we're just gonna keep mashing it with our mashed potato masher and with our spoon until our beef is cooked. Everything is broken down, so what I'm gonna do is add our onions back in here. I'm gonna give this a good mix around, and then I'm gonna make a hole in the middle for our spices because I want to bloom our spices as well. I'm gonna push our excess water off to the side, and we're gonna put it right in the middle here. And just like the garlic, it only takes about 20 seconds for it to bloom, and then we're gonna just mix it all in. You're really gonna smell it. It's nice and fragrant, and let's mix everything together until everything is well combined. We wanna make sure this meat stays moist every single time we use it. So to do that, we're gonna add some beef broth, 50 grams, and tomato sauce, which I already have out of the can. Again, we're gonna mix this all together and bring our heat down to low. And for about 8 to 10 minutes, we're just gonna let this simmer away and let that beef soak in all of these juices. Once our meat is done simmering, I'm gonna transfer it to a glass bowl, and I'm gonna let it cool for about 5 minutes so then we can make our egg rolls. As we all know, there are no rules in the kitchen, and I was getting super frustrated because I kept trying to make air fryer egg rolls and they would not come out right. So I decided, if I shallow fry this, how much oil will it actually pick up? I tested this about 8 to 10 times at this point, and every single time it did not go above 3 grams of oil. When I spray it individually, I use about 1 gram of oil. So we're adding about an extra 18 calories for real fried egg rolls. So that's what I'm going with. We will take our smaller pan here and we're going to weigh out 30 grams of oil. I'm gonna put it on the burner, but I'm not gonna start the burner yet because I wanna get my egg rolls essentially wrapped and ready because the oil heats up in just about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm using soya egg roll wraps, which are actually vegan, but obviously the meat isn't. And it's only 60 calories per egg roll wrap. We're gonna take a little cup here, put some water in it, and I have leftover egg roll wraps, so I'm just using the ones that I have left over instead of opening a new package. But we're gonna take 2 of our egg roll wraps here, and we're gonna stuff them both. Usually I'm not a big fan of fat-free cheese, but this is a perfect opportunity to use fat-free cheese. You're not even gonna notice it's fat-free cheese with all of the flavors in the beef going on and with the oil on the outside of the egg roll. I promise you. And we're gonna put 14 grams on each egg roll wrap. I like to try to keep everything really in the middle here. And we're gonna get our ground beef mix on top and we're gonna zero this out and we're gonna add 35 grams to each egg roll wrap. At this point, we're gonna pack everything together and get it ready to get wrapped. And I'm gonna wipe off my hands really quick before we put the water on the edges. We wanna make sure that none of the actual stuff on the inside gets out because it'll make the oil start bubbling and going everywhere all over your stovetop. And that's exactly the opposite of what we want. So to make sure these are nice and tight, I put about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inches of water on each side of the egg roll wrap. And at this point, I could also turn my burner on medium heat. Now that we've got water on all 4 sides, I'm gonna bring one of our corners in and bring it over, and I'm gonna tuck the inside of the egg roll wrap into the stuffing and see how nothing is getting out. And I'm gonna put some water on the corner, put some water on this corner, bring these corners in, and then again, water on this corner, water on this corner, and roll. And now we have a perfectly sized, nice and tight egg roll ready to be fried. Then we'll do the same thing with the other egg roll. Our egg rolls are ready to go, and I want our oil to get to about 375 degrees. Anywhere between 360 and 375 would be good. And we're at about 300, so I got another minute to wait here. Make sure you keep an eye on this because it's literally only been about 60 seconds and we are already at 372. So we are ready to fry. I'm gonna put these in with the corner part down. I'm an anabolic chef. I'm not super technical. If you're doing a real shallow fry, you would make these go halfway up the egg roll. I don't want to waste the oil. You can certainly do that if you want to. I'm going to be using tongs here and flipping it and making sure that every side gets fried. You definitely want to stay here. Don't go too far. When you're frying stuff, you have to make sure that you stay nearby because stuff can change dramatically in a hurry. It only takes about 2 minutes per side for it to get nice and brown. You're just gonna wanna keep a good eye on it. I think it's important to note that I made this for more like personal use where you do like 2 or 4 at a time, but you can certainly put more oil in here and make more at the same time. I just thought that this was a great way, like say Super Bowl Sunday, you can make these for the Super Bowl if you wanna do this on the side for like an appetizer for yourself or for a couple people. All right, we got good browning on one side, so I'm gonna flip these over. This is where I'll take one wrapper at a time and I'll put it on its side here. And usually these are pretty rectangular, so I can stand them up on its side, so I could do both at the same time. I'm not saying by any means this is a perfect method, but this is the one that I found with the least waste, the easiest for me to do, and how I can track how much oil I actually used the best. But you can do this however you want. And we'll hit the other side. You might have to sit here and hold it though. They don't always stand up on its own, but see, I have one on its own and this one isn't standing up, so I'm just gonna hold it. The last thing we gotta do is hit the ends here. Once our egg rolls are done, I like to put them on a drying rack, and in about 2 or 3 minutes, they're ready to serve. Let's go over the macros. For each egg roll, we are looking at 160 calories, 5 fat, 14 carb, and 14 protein. For a real fried food, 160 calories and 14 protein is about the best that you are going to get. I can guarantee it, and they taste mwah. I've had my roommate try it, his girlfriend tried it, my girlfriend's tried it, I've tried it, we all love it. These will be a hit if you want them for yourself or if you want to make them for yourself your girlfriend, your father, your mother, your friends. It does not matter. They will all love it. I mean, listen. You can't beat it. Barbecue chicken sheet pan pizza coming extremely soon. If you like these egg roll recipes, let me know. I already have another one that I really wanna make, but I wanna hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.